Warning: the opinions expressed in this video do not represent YouTube, associations, agencies, or any particular individuals. They are merely from two guys needing to pass the boredom of their average day lives. Some explicit content may occur in this or future presentations. Viewer discretion may be advised, but ignored if you're into that thing. What's up, everybody? I'm Wild Man Wes.
And I'm the Big Bad Wolf Benny.
And welcome to a special edition of the Wild Wolf Show. Professional wrestling.
I don't know if you guys saw my new attire. It's pretty.
Yeah, shiny. Well, as we've mentioned in many episodes before this, we are big wrestling fans.
And if we haven't, we're mentioning it now. I mean, I have a damn belt.
Oh yeah. So we've been gathering a lot of information about moments in wrestling from the classic days all the way up into the new era. And we were thinking about funny moments in wrestling and botches.
There's one wrestler that stood out, though, it was just funny, his run. Perry Saturn.
Yeah, Perry Saturn. And hey, no disrespect to Sid Vicious or Scott Steiner. We're going to have episodes of that later
That'll
on.
be 2 and 3, guys. That'll be...
Yeah, eventually we'll get to those. But
now, don't get us wrong. Perry Saturn, great wrestler. The gimmick he was given, though, he was concussed too many times.
Basically what happened is in 2001, when he was in WWF, or WWE as you call it now, with Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, and Chris Benoit, they became the Radicals after they had left WCW. After the Radicals were having a little bit of a lowdown, they decided to split up the team. And Perry Saturn was going up against a jobber named Mike Bell. Mike Bell wasn't really selling a lot of the moves in the ring, so Perry Saturn took it upon himself to give him a lesson in Pro Wrestling 101 and basically beat the shit out of him. So Vince McMahon and the powers that be decided, well, we're going to punish you. So we're going to give you this gimmick where you're going to get a big concussion and you're going to have a lot of silly moments, some of them involving a mop known as Moppy, which would later become his girlfriend. So, Perry Saturn, you are our first inductee into the funny moments of wrestling history.
Congratulations, sir.
And with that being said, we compiled a lot of the moments during that year of what went on during his gimmick. And we compiled it down to 10 funniest moments. Now, normally in our episodes, we do a lot of top 5 good and top 5 bad. But this one, they were just, these top 10s for the wrestlers are going to be all good for the most part. There will be some later on, there are going to be some bad moments.
Sometimes wrestlers are given gimmicks that probably shouldn't do as well, but their natural charisma just takes it and just... Perry said, let's put it this way, he probably didn't have the best matches of his life during this time period, but he definitely went over as one of those characters like, what's he gonna say next? Yeah.
And we're gonna
You're welcome.
Yep. So let's get to it.
You're welcome.
So number 10 on the funny list happens to deal with SummerSlam 2001. This happened roughly after the whole invasion angle between WCW and ECW against WWF. While this was going on, Perry Saturn was about at the midpoint of his gimmick with Moppy. So basically what happens is Moppy's nowhere to be found, and Perry Saturn has been trying to look everywhere on episodes of SmackDown as well as Raw. And in this one, on SummerSlam, he's at WWF New York trying to post up flyers, and he has a milk carton with Moppy on the side of it.
It's great because, back in the day, that's how you knew about missing people, was the milk carton. It's great that he actually took the time to put the mop on there. It's a funny thing, and like I said, he plays it off so well. You generally believe that he's just concussed. He doesn't know where he's going, doesn't know what he's doing anymore.
It's the sincerity in his
just
voice.
Like I said, he just knows how to play it. That's just a tribute to him of how good of an actor is, which most people forget that wrestling, there's a lot of acting involved in it. I mean, you got to be a physical specimen too, and he was. He was built very well.
And with some of the other gimmicks we've had in the past, where you have like Matt Bourne having to play Doink the Clown,
yes,
or even El Gigante, or Giant Gonzalez,
yeah,
or even somebody that has to play Bastion Booger of all people.
Oh man, I feel bad for Bastion Boogers. If you guys don't know who that is, he's a bigger guy, and just think about like just a guy who just boogers and just
But I loved him as Norm the Lunatic in WCW.
Yeah, he was good. See, that's what I mean. Some wrestlers went from company to company getting these terrible gimmicks, and it's just like some of them rolled with it, and then they were given great gimmicks. Like, perfect example, The Rock. he was given a baby face, you know, Rocky Maivia playing off his dad and his grandfather being wrestlers. People hated it.
Yeah.
People hated it.
It got to the point where it's like, die, Rocky, die.
He literally got pissed off. He's like, you know, I'm going to tell these fans how it's going to be. And we loved him for it. Now look at him. Probably the biggest wrestling star of all time.
Yeah,
Definitely
a lot of performers started off with a really bad gimmick and then went to better things. Look at Kane. He started off as, you know, Isaac Yankem DDS. So he does not like talking about it either. Trust me.
No, he went from that, and yes, I mean, again, this is just how good Perry Saturn was. I mean, he really didn't do much after this. You know, he did the Indies. He had his demons that he battled. From what I hear, he's doing really good.
Yeah.
Good for him. Hopefully, he comes back to the ring. Yeah, I mean, it was just fun to see, you know, a mop on a milk carton missing.
Yeah.
Another good thing, too, side note, too, is the invasion angle. I really wish they would have kept that going a little bit longer. It had so much potential.
It ended at Survivor Series.
They ended it too soon. They could have played that for years. It would have been great.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously, Vince McMahon knows what he's doing. I mean, he's a freaking billionaire.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey, I'm not going to question you, bud.
You're welcome.
Number 9 on our list has to deal with a bra and panties match involving Trish Stratus and Terry. This happened on the June 4th episode of SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, bra and panties, guys, I mean, it's going to be on the list.
I mean, hell, how do you think the Jarretts ever got the idea for TNA for their name of their wrestling brand?
I mean,
Jarrett.
It's just, what can I say, bra and panties, and Terry,
I mean, the match was very, you know, I mean, hey, it was great fan service, and we all enjoyed it. But what made it funny, but at the same time slightly disturbing, is that Perry Saturn is actually concealing a pair of bra and panties on himself. And this happens, you know, basically after he took at least about 5 or 6 good shots to the head during the whole concussion angle. It was, like I said, funny, but slightly disturbing. But, you know, props to Perry Saturn for wanting to
That's just the guy
go that way.
He loves his craft so much that he's willing to embarrass himself like that. So, I mean, props to anybody who's willing to go that distance for something they love. So, good for him. Like I said, utmost respect for the man. I mean, a little side story, too. I don't know if you guys know this. He actually, like, stopped, like, a mugging or whatever and got stabbed.
That's what stopped his career for
and
a while.
that's why he had to stop. So, I mean, he's a bona fide badass hero. I mean, utmost respect for the man.
Fucking up jobbers and muggers since 2001.
You're welcome.
So number 8 on our list is the September 3rd edition of Monday Night Raw. During this time, Moppy's still missing, and Perry's been looking all over the place. He can't find her, so he decides he's going to enlist in a superhero, and other than
the Hurricane.
Stand back! There's a hurricane coming through.
We might have to do a top 10 moments of Ham too, because
yeah,
I mean, ugh.
But the question is, do we want to do it more towards the Attitude Era or the Ruthless Aggression Era when the Hamburglar comes in?
we could do 5 for each.
Oh, that's true.
We could do 5 for each. So Hurricane, of course, being him, and here's another character that was given a gimmick that was just a superhero. I mean, come on. It was great, though, because he played it off so good. He's not a big guy. I mean, he's only probably, what, maybe 5'10". He's not 6 foot, I know that.
No.
And he maybe weighs $150, but just he's always doing the stance. And
yeah, and like Perry Saturn being able to make a gimmick work.
He did.
Hurricane Helms is a legitimate comic book nerd. I mean, he has a Green Lantern tattoo on his arm if that says anything.
Green Lantern, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's a great wrestler. I'd like to see him back, too. I love him. Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was funny because he's just like, all right, so Moppy went missing last week. We were in I think it was Grand Rapids. Something like that. And he's just like, it has an M in it. This. Young Matt Hardy. It's like, how he pulled Matt Hardy's name out of there, he just did. And it was funny how he did it. And Perry Saturn the whole time just looking at him like, he don't know what's going on. He's like, and then as soon as he said Matt Hardy, he like snapped out of it. Matt Hardy? He's got Moppy?
And he freaks out.
It was great. But I mean, yes, you had to watch the segment to actually enjoy it more because we're not doing it justice right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, due to the fact that we don't have a whole lot of subscribers yet to actually be.
We can't get that approval from WWE. And
but let's put it this way: about 2 years ago, or almost 2 years ago, I had posted a tribute video to the late Roddy Piper, and unfortunately, due to copyright licensing of some of the videos, it got taken down. So in this case, with the videos that we're going to be doing right now, we're going to be doing slide pictures of those said segments just to kind of get the idea across, and then hopefully we might be able to. Please, Vince, please let us use your videos.
Right? Guys, I mean, the more you guys subscribe, the better video content we can get you. So, I mean, basically, you guys are the ones holding us back right now.
No, it's
I'm
us.
joking, guys.
It's us. Because we're poor.
It is. If we had money.
Oh, I know.
But, all right, back to our list. We got a little off topic again.
You're welcome.
So number 7 on our list is on the July 26th edition of SmackDown. During this, Perry Saturn's definitely had quite a number of concussions, and he gets confronted by Lance Storm, who's at this point part of the alliance of WCW, ACW, and Lance Storm has always played this gimmick of being a no-nonsense, very, very serious, and if I could be serious for a minute, he doesn't like offbeat shenanigans, which of course that went against everything that Edge and Christian went against back then. So basically, Lance Storm is sitting there giving Perry a harangue of what to do and what not to do in the ring, especially during their match. And Perry Saturn just looks at him with a straight face and goes, "Underoos are fun to wear. You're welcome."
Again.
Yeah. It's just...
Again, just how he plays it off.
A deadpan, very deadpan.
And you know, funny thing is, too, like you said, Lance Storm's a very serious character. You can sort of see him trying not to break character. He does a good job, but you can kind of see him trying to, like...
It was just about as good as when Paul Heyman tried to outsmart The Undertaker with, Brother Love.
Yes. Perfect example.
Yeah, because when Undertaker saw Brother Love come out, he's supposed to be Dead Man Inc., and here comes Brother Love. He's sitting there trying not to laugh. Anytime you ever watch Taker on an episode of Raw or SmackDown back in the day, and he's trying not to break character, he always does. He always wipes his mouth, looks up, and puts his hands on his hips. Go back and check those out. You'll know exactly when he's trying to break character.
Why do you think later on, too, he had the gimmick, or he had the costume where, like, his hair was in front of his face? It made it easier for him not to, because, you know, at this time, he's still, I wouldn't say an up-and-comer, he's already made it, but he's still, like, situating himself into being the Phenom. So, he started wearing his hair. If you notice, you can't see his face. And I've actually heard an interview where he said, yeah, it's because there's a couple times I try not to break character.
Yeah. And that works with Perry Saturn, too, because with that concussion angle, half the time when he's doing the head nodding and the dopey expression on his face, it works, because the longer he was doing that, the more character he'd be able to keep. So, with that being said, let's move on to the next on our top 10.
You're welcome.
So number 6 on our top 10 list is on the, let me just double check again, October 29th edition of Raw, where Perry Saturn is basically, this is actually right around the time when he was about to be leaving the WWF to go pursue other things. And in the segment that he has, it deals with the A.P.A., otherwise known as Farouk and Bradshaw.
You guys remember then? They were awesome.
Yeah, as long as you brought beer and the cards and cigars, they were good for you.
Hell yeah.
Yep, A.P.A. all the way. Anyways, they're playing poker, but Perry Saturn, as we said with this concussion, not really knowing what's going on. So he basically
Bradshaw is just pair of twos. You don't know what Farouk got, but he won. And then Perry Saturn throws his card down. Go fish. And again, he does it so just serious with that deadpan look on his face. And the A.P.A. are like having a good time. They're like, oh, you almost won with that hand. Now let me take your money. So it's pretty funny. And like I said, Bradshaw, Ron Simmons,
they know how to play funny too.
They're very funny. They're very funny.
When you have Perry Saturn with them, it definitely.
I mean, that was very, very, very good. You actually get to see in this episode too a young Teddy Long when he was still a referee. So that's a cool little footnote too.
Yep.
So you'll see him like that was T Long.
Yeah, good old T Long just went to the Hall of Fame this year.
He did. Congratulations, brother. That's no easy accomplishment.
Nope.
You're welcome.
Number 5 on our top 10 list is from the June 7th edition of SmackDown. In this, we have a match between the Dudley Boyz versus Perry Saturn and Dean Malenko. So basically in this match, everything's going fine for the most part until Perry Saturn, once again, takes a blow to the head. So while this is going on, Dean Malenko's in the ring. he's getting, his ass handed to him
It's
by
the
the
Dudley
Dudleys.
boys,
And Perry Saturn happens to find a pair of the Dudley Boys' sunglasses outside. Or actually, regular glasses. Yeah,
I think they were just regular glasses.
They switched it around a little bit.
He
During
put 'em
the
on.
Too Cool moment, they used to have sunglasses as well.
Yeah.
But Perry Saturn puts on the glasses, goes back into the ring, and decides he's going to suplex Dean Malenko. Then he goes up to the Dudleys, yells, "Devon! Get the muffins!"
And of course, at this time, on commentary, you have Taz and Michael Cole, and just, what did he say?
Get the muffins.
What? The
Yeah.
muffins? It's great. Again, just it's like a 2-second clip, and it's just like it makes it because even the Dudley boys look at each other like,
Yeah, I mean, before I even had WWE Network, the only way I could find it, I mean, YouTube didn't even have a clip of it. I found it on Daily Motion, but at the same time, with copyrights in general, it's kind of hard to find these clips. But other than that, the best place to find it is the WWE Network. $9.99 a month. There's a shameless plug for you, everybody.
there you go, WWE. We're helping you. Help us.
You're welcome.
So number 4 on the list is from June 10th, 2001, on an episode of Raw. In this, Terry Runnels is having a hard time dealing with Perry Saturn getting so many concussions during every match. So she decides she's going to go see Commissioner Regal about this and try to set a day where he can just have the night off and take care of everything.
Let him recover a little bit. Give him some R&R. Everybody needs it. Everybody deserves it.
And then after that, Perry Saturn comes in, and he's obviously out of it as usual.
I mean,
and
wow.
Commissioner Regal decides he's going to give Perry the night off. And later on for an episode of SmackDown, he says, "Do you think you can handle this?" And Perry Saturn just looks at him and says, "British people fight dragons because they're fiery. You're welcome."
It's a great line because, I don't think even Regal knew he was going to say it because the look on his face is just, or he's just that great of an actor, is pure dumbfoundedness. It's just like,
Yeah, but then again, Commissioner Regal, William Regal, he's part of the old school where they can kind of handle a lot of that, humor where they don't break kayfabe.
and
So-
you know what? He didn't break. It was a genuine look of, what did he say?
Yeah, it was the
out
look
there.
on his face was almost as priceless as when he realized that Jericho had pissed in his tea at one point later on. So, yeah, it was rather...
You're welcome.
So number 3 on the list happens on June 21st episode of Raw. Same situation as number 4, where William Regal is the commissioner and having to deal with all of Perry Saturn's concussion bullshit. And they're deciding to set up a match with Test to go up against Perry Saturn. And in this situation, Perry Saturn can only say, "Doggies eat applesauce to protect the ozone layer. You're welcome." And William Regal, on the other hand, he sits there and tries to, dissuade him to get Perry really pissed off. And he says that Test eats Test. Who eats kumquats? Test eats kumquats. No, but he's trying to say that Test said that doggies eat kumquats to protect the ozone layer. And there's just this little back and forth of, no, it's applesauce, no, it's kumquats.
It's just one of those little funny gimmicks, It's like straight out of a cartoon.
Well, it kind of reminds me of like a receipt of William Regal, because he was so dumbfounded the week before on Raw that he basically had to figure out a way to
he
get back at him.
It was funny because, like I said, it's like right out of a cartoon. It's like, no, it's this way, no, it's this way, and then he switched. It's great. I love it. It's like a little cartoon pattern. I love it. It's great. It's funny. Like I said, Perry Saturn doesn't get enough recognition for what he did in wrestling, and that's a shame because he was a great technical wrestler. He's trained by Killer Kowalski.
Think so.
I
I'll
want
have
to
to
say it
double
was
check
Killer
that.
Kowalski.
If we're wrong, leave a comment in the section
So
below.
if you know who Killer Kowalski is, he's just a legend. Great. He was during.
Kowalski trained Triple H, though.
I do know that. So I want to say he did train Perry Saturn.
We'll definitely double check.
We'll definitely double check that. If you want to help us out, because leave us a comment down low.
Yep, we
always
appreciate
accept
your
them.
constructive criticism.
Yep, we do. But it was just great. It's a great time with Perry Saturn. I love him.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, I wish we could see him back in the ring again. That'd be great.
But we're not done yet. We still have 2 more funny moments of his
Cool.
career.
You're welcome.
So number 2 on our top 10 list happens on July 17th episode of Raw. This is basically the week prior to the Invasion pay-per-view, where Paul Heyman, Stephanie, and Shane McMahon are trying to recruit as many people from WWF to go over to the Alliance. And at one point, Paul Heyman, of all people, goes and finds Perry Saturn sitting alone with Moppy. And for those of you that might know, Perry Saturn was a former wrestler for ECW. And during that time, he had a really great career before going over to WCW and then transcending over to WWF. Perry Saturn is pretty much, as usual, dumbfounded, and Paul Heyman's sitting there reminding him of all the great things that he did. And even though ECW didn't have a whole lot of funds back in the mid to late 90s to pay off their wrestlers for any type of medical conditions that were going on, he said that they would be able to take care of him. Then he asks him, "So what do you say, Perry? Why don't you come join ECW with us?"
Sausages.
Sausages.
It makes sense, guys. I mean, I don't know if you ever had a sausage. It's pretty awesome.
I've never had one, but I'm sure if you watch something like Lethal Weapon 3 and watch Mel Gibson eating one, yeah, dude.
They're not bad, guys. I mean,
I might have to try one sometime. I don't know why. We'll film it. Yeah, we probably will.
hey, man, Big Bad Wolf. That's food for canines. If my cousins can eat it, I can eat it. It's cool. Tastes
What cousins are you talking
like the
about?
dogs.
Oh, okay.
The dogs.
Just making sure on that one, dude. Otherwise, I'd say, what the hell?
What's going on in this family? I know, it's weird.
Oh, no. Well, apart from the sausages being incredibly funny and being on our number 2 on our list, there's one in particular that really just says it all.
You're welcome.
So number 1 on our top 10 list of Perry Saturn funny moments happens on the June 14th episode of SmackDown. As we said before, there was an episode where the Commissioner Regal is basically telling them, okay, you're going to get your day off, because Terry was getting so tired of Perry Saturn having concussions and acting really stupid. So on this episode of SmackDown, they decide they're going to go on a double date. So Terry and Perry are set up, and then Dean Malenko is set up in a double date, and or a blind date, mind you, and
it's pretty funny because her name's Sherry, right?
Sherry.
So it's kind of fun that it all played off together, and then it's like, you know, Perry kind of gets told, like, don't make a fool of yourself. You know, we're trying to hook up our friend here, and well, Perry's Perry. He has a lot of fun. But the sad thing is, Sherry actually like hits it off with Perry. Terry gets mad.
Well, the first thing that Perry says to Sherry is, "You smell like a Viking. You're welcome." And as this is all, you know, panning out, Perry decides for his meal at the restaurant, he's going to order a bowl of mustard with a side of crayons. And he picks up a blue crayon and says, "The blue one is for fiber." After that, they go with the whole childhood game of the garbage can. The I won the garbage can, I two the garbage can. And it gets to the point where Perry gets Sherry to say, "I ate the garbage can," and he has a field day with it. Just acting like a little kid. It is very cute. And
it's funny.
As Benny was saying earlier, Terry had had enough. So she decides to walk off camera. She grabs a little metal serving plate. She's going to take out Sherry from behind. Totally misses. Hits Perry right in the face.
Yeah.
And then
concussion happened anyway, so.
And as she's worried about him, the only thing Perry can say is, "Yahtzee, you're welcome." So I would say that's the funniest thing ever for me.
It really was. I mean, come on. He won. Yahtzee, man. He won. Come on.
He won better than he won Go Fish against the A.P.A., right?
At least he won this time.
Yeah, right? Well, that concludes our top 10 funniest moments of Perry Saturn. If there's any wrestlers you'd like us to do a review on, leave us a comment in the section below, and we'll be sure to get to it. Until then, I'm Wild Man Wes.
I'm the Big Bad Wolf.
And we'll see you next time on The Wild Wolf Show.
Outs.